Before we get into the episode, I am thrilled to announce that the EntremD Business School is open for enrollment. The EntremD Business School is the only school of its kind for physicians who want to build 6, 7, and multiple 7-figure businesses. Over the last 2 years, we have had hundreds of doctors go through the school with unbelievable results. Some of them run brands, some of them run private practices, some of them are coaches, some have other kinds of service-based businesses or product-based businesses. And we've had people come in and cross the 6-figure milestone, cross the 7-figure milestone, cross the multiple 7-figure milestone. You will be in a place where you'll get the coaching, the community, the accountability that you need to thrive as an entrepreneur, especially in the times that we're in. So maybe you've been following me for a while. Maybe you've been getting so much out of the EntremD podcast and you've been wondering, how can I work with Dr. Una and the community more? Well, this is your chance. Come join us in the EntremD Business School. It is application only. So go to entremd.com/business to turn in your application. I cannot tell you how many doctors have made statements like this. I recovered my investment in the first week. I recovered my investment in my bank account in the first 90 days. This is the best investment I've made in myself ever. I want you to have that kind of story, not just a story of building a great business that serves a lot and earns a lot, but having a business that gives you the freedom to live life on your terms. So don't wait any longer. entremd.com/business. And now for the episode. Hi, docs. Welcome to the EntremD podcast, where it's all about helping amazing physicians just like you embrace entrepreneurship so you can have the freedom to live life and practice medicine on your terms. I'm your host, Dr. Una. Well, hello, my friend. Welcome back to another episode of the EntremD podcast. And today we're going to be looking at something that is going to be really revolutionary for you, especially if you're listening to this at the time when this goes live. It's the beginning of the fourth quarter of the year, which happens to be my best quarter. And the reason for that is really Q4, the fourth quarter of the year, is an opportunity to go all in, to finish the year out strong. And if you actually do the work to finish the year out strong strategically, you would have already taken care of Q1 of the following year. And so sometimes people are disappointed with their results in the first quarter of the year because they started working on the first quarter of the year in the first quarter. By then, it's already done. It's really the activities that happen in the fourth quarter that create the results in the first quarter, right? Like if you're starting the first quarter, it's already late. You can recover it, but that's a whole other thing. So I really pay attention during the fourth quarter, especially also because there are so many opportunities to be distracted. Oh my goodness. And that is because you have Halloween there, you have Thanksgiving, you have Christmas. And am I saying don't celebrate that? Don't enjoy time with your family? Of course not, right? In EntremD, we're all about building your dream business and building your dream life concurrently. We want you to do both. But I mean, it's the holidays, right? It's a holiday, not a holly month. You know what I'm saying? And you can even decide, I want to take the whole week off. I want to have amazing time with my family. But if you can be focused for the other 3 weeks, you can still create a Q4 that is magical because you did the work and you had all the time with your family, right? So the opportunities for distractions where people find that they celebrated Thanksgiving for the whole month of November, they celebrated Christmas for the whole month of December, they celebrated Halloween the whole month of October. So really, they have nothing to show in Q4 as far as results and nothing to show in Q1. So half of a 6-month period is gone, right? And so it's really for people who are strategic about it, they actually set themselves up. This is the time they get ahead, right? This is the time they get ahead. This is the time they get market share. This is the time they make their businesses so much better. This is the time they make their lives so much better because most of the world is asleep. They look like they're awake, but they're asleep. And so this is one of my favorite quarters. And for instance, in the EntremD Business School, we're going all in. We're starting hard. We're going all in. And I think for the school as a community, this is just going to be one of the best seasons for us as individuals and as a collective. And so that's me and my love for the fourth quarter of the year. But anyway, I was thinking about what is the best thing you can do? What is the most important decision you can make as we get into the fourth quarter of the year? And it really is around your evolution. Like the work you do to make you different, the work you do to upgrade you, the work you do to come up to the next version of you, right? Like, so if you think about an iPhone, there's iPhone 1 all the way up to, I don't even know what number there is now. I think I have the 13. My husband's been trying to change my phone forever. But I keep saying I don't need it. I can take calls on it and it gives me great videos. So I'm good. But it's time for us to have an upgrade, right? And that's the most important thing you can do. And the thing that triggered this thought, I've been thinking about it a lot. I've been working on my evolution like intentionally over the last 30 days. I really went all in on it. And I'm going to do a podcast episode about it when I'm done with my evolution project because it's been so wild. But there's a doctor in the EntremD Business School. We share wins on Fridays. And she posted a win that really brought tears to my eyes because she runs a practice. Her dad runs a practice. And she was talking about the wins that she's gone on to create and all of these things. And she said, because of the principles I've been applying from the EntremD Business School, my dad's picked up on some of that. And he had his revenue doubled this month as compared to the month before. And I thought about it. Like, here's a doctor who's doing the thing, creating wins. And then here is her dad, and her dad's revenue doubled because his daughter evolved. His daughter evolved. And I started thinking about it, and I said, wow, that when you evolve, there is a ripple effect, right? And I want to show you that ripple effect. And my hope is after you listen to this, you will pay the price to upgrade yourself, okay? We don't have control over a lot of things. I don't have control of the fact that there's a recession or there's hyperinflation or there's a great resignation or the healthcare system is the way it is and all of those. I don't have direct control over that. But there is somebody I have 100% control over, and that is me. Now, if you understand that you have control of a switch that controls so many other things, you will use that, right? You will use that. You will flip that switch as many times as you need to. So, for that doctor, her evolution created an evolution of people around her. But I want to show you five categories of people who will transform if you decide to transform. And when I talk about your evolution, I'm talking about up-leveling your identity, how you see yourself, right? Like, for instance, you may think about yourself and, well, you think like, I can generate 7 figures in revenue, but I can't build an 8-figure company. You may think I can lead a team of people who are really producers, but I cannot lead a team of leaders, right? I can't have an executive team. I'm not that kind of person. You may think like, I'm the kind of person who can just do the work and help people get results, but I cannot be perceived as a category leader in my industry. And so making that evolution where your identity, the way you see yourself, the way you perceive yourself is different. Doing that is part of your evolution. Up-leveling the actions you take, that's part of your evolution. There are actions that if I do this, it's going to have a really big effect, but you've been holding back. You start showing up and taking actions like that, that's part of your evolution. Your expectations, like where have you capped things, right? So when you think about all of those things, once you start shifting those, and nobody can really see it as you're doing the work of shifting it, but once it shifts, people know and people respond. Okay, so let me talk about the five categories of people who will be totally transformed if you will transform. And so once we're done with this, I want you to make that decision to transform, pay the price, do the work, right? This is it's not comfortable work. It's not easy work, but it is so rewarding. So rewarding and so much easier than the alternative, which is not getting the result you want. So number one, when you evolve, your clients start getting bigger results, right? They're waiting on you. Your clients start getting bigger results. And so, for instance, one of the things I do, because I know that I'm a leader in the healthcare space, I know that I have influence. I know that, right? So one of the things that I hold myself accountable to is my constant evolution, because when I break certain ceilings, what I'm doing is I'm showing other people, hey guys, this is possible. Like, let's go. Right. And it also brings this other piece of if I stop evolving, right, then I'm telling people without meaning to, right? I'm telling people, well, you can come this far, but I think this is kind of it. You know what I mean? Like, this is it. And so one of the reasons why I continue to evolve is if I can continue to evolve, I can continue to show the people in my world what is possible and they can get bigger wins. So one of the examples here is in EBS Scale. So EBS Scale is EntremD Business School Scale. It's the tier of the business school for doctors who have built businesses over 7 figures in revenue and really still want the hyper growth and want to start building A teams, building systems that can handle massive growth, maximizing profits, and really building these companies that are well-oiled machines that can run without them, right? Like, so that mode, right? And one of the common thought processes out there is it's really hard to find doctors. It can take you 2 years, 3 years to hire one. It's really hard to find management level people. It is so hard to keep staff and all of those kind of things. And when people lose a team member, they're all bent out of shape. This is something that goes on. And what I had done is evolved to the point where I believe that there is an abundance of A players. They already exist. They're already there. They would want to work with me. I can find them, right? And so I have had scenarios where I've had a critical leader like say, okay, I'm going to leave. And I'm like, okay, I need to replace this person in 30 days. I need to replace this person in 60 days. What do I do? And I have developed a framework. I've developed a system so that I've had things like that happen. And in 30 days, I had a contract in hand. In 2 weeks, I had a contract in hand. And I continue playing this picture in front of them. And so what happens now is that people are like, oh yeah, my lead nurse gave 2 weeks notice and, on a Tuesday and by Sunday, I had a new contract in hand, right? So they're not getting bent out of shape. They're not, like losing sleep over this. They're like, this is what I need to do. This is the approach I need to follow, and I will get the person I need. So this is now a new expectation. There's abundance. There are A players. I can build a robust team. I can build an A team and all of that. So why are they getting those bigger results? Because I chose to evolve. Right now, and I'm not taking away credit for the work that they're doing or anything, but because I had that expectation, I will constantly come back and share my stories of what happened. Then I'm saying this is within the realm of possibility, and they are then getting those kind of results. And getting results, so I'm saying you can double your time off, right? And now they're in a position where a lot of them are taking trips with their families every quarter. They're running these big businesses, taking vacations every quarter, and their revenue is growing. Right? As opposed to if I take the vacation, I have to sacrifice revenue, but they're growing and they're taking more time off. So why are they having bigger results? Because I chose to evolve. So I can be an example. Okay. So the first thing it affects is your clients. They're going to get bigger results. And when your people get bigger results, that means chances are they're going to stay longer with you because that's why they came to you. They wanted to get results, right? So they're getting what they came for. The chances are they'll be raving fans and tell other people about you. So it's better for your business, right? So that's the first thing. The second group of people would be your team. Your team, when they see you evolve as a leader, then they up-level their performance. So when they see you evolve as a leader, you now own vision casting. You now own setting clear expectations. You now own holding them accountable because you may not know it, but people actually appreciate accountability. They may complain in the moment, but that means that you care about them. That means that you're going to help them become the best versions of themselves. That means a lot of things, right? So when you up-level as a leader, your team up-levels. When you hold them accountable to higher results, they give you higher results, right? One of the things that I strive for when I work with people is I want the people, whether they stay with me forever or whether they eventually go somewhere, to say, oh my goodness, the best time of my career was the time I spent working with Dr. Una. That's where I evolved the most. That's where I learned the most. That's where I grew the most. I want people to be able to say that. Now, as I evolve, I hold them accountable for their own evolution, and I start giving them bigger tasks, and I start pushing them into bigger rooms, and I start having them do things that maybe they didn't think they would do, right? And as I do that, their performance is up leveling. The amount of weight they can carry for the business starts up leveling, and everything becomes better. Now, guess what? When you have a team that's able to do more, then you get more freedom, right? And you get more freedom to start doing higher level things as well. And so when you evolve, your team evolves. Now, when you have an evolved team, then you're really in this era of multiplication in your business. Multiplication, because you can only do so much. When you now have 10 people who are now doing so much, then you're in business, like you're in real business. Okay, number 3. The third group of people who would evolve would be your inner circle. Okay. Now I see this a lot in the EntremD Business School. And I tell this to them every time. I'm like, every time you evolve, every time you start doing better, you start getting bigger results, you get more connections, your network grows, your life, your business gets so much better. But I want you to think about the combined effect, right? When you're in a community of 100 doctors who are doing the same thing. So not only are you getting better, but they're getting better, and you're connected to them. And because you're connected to them, their evolution rubs off on you, and your evolution rubs off on them. And the results you create rub off. Like, it's just this really wild thing. And so one of the best things you can do when you are in community is you can evolve, because your evolution affects somebody else. So think about the doctor I just spoke about, where her dad is in her inner circle. Now his revenue is doubled. I want you to think about that right now. So he's better, and he's functioning at a higher level, and they can have different level conversations, and they can set different kind of goals, because now they're like, wait a minute, if we could do that, what could we do? What else could we do? And so you make your inner circle better. And because of that, your inner circle makes you better. And it's just this ripple effect, this give and take. And it's just a beautiful thing that is a positive vicious cycle. And so your inner circle becomes better. Number 4, your family up levels. Okay. I cannot, this is so amazing. So recently as well, I had somebody from the business school say, hey, I always come to talk about my wins in my business, but the business school has made such a difference for my personal life and my family. I want to come talk about it. And so she starts talking about all these things. Her family is better. I cannot tell you how many people are like, wow, because we read a book a month in EBS, my husband has read more books since I've been in EBS for the last 6 months than he has in the last 6 years. I have people who started businesses and their husbands are like, I could do that too. And they started their own businesses, right? So their families are better. The kids are better. The kids are learning the lessons. We've had people, there was a doc in the school, she started doing all these things, that her daughter started a podcast. There are a number of them, they have daughters in college, and their college kids have started businesses because they're watching you. So think about a family evolving because you decided to evolve. And I know a time is coming when we're going to need to have EBS Junior. We're going to need to have conferences or retreats where the doctors will come with their teenage kids, and we're going to talk about business and how can they can take a role in the family business as part of their education. I know we're going to do that, but I want you to think about the ripple effect of that. That is phenomenal, because that's the real wealth, right? That's the real wealth that's there. So your family up levels, okay? And then the 5th thing is, really, this is this is a category of people, but you start attracting high-level collaborations, because guess what? The market is watching. The market is watching, right? They're like, is she serious? Is he serious? Is this business thing a fad that's going to go away? The more consistently you show up, when you show up consistently, they're paying attention. When you show up at a higher level, they're paying attention. They're like, what is going on here? What is the? And then people start opening doors for you. I have had doctors where people have walked up to them and say, hey, I think this is amazing. I think you should do a TED Talk on this. Let's see how we can facilitate that. I have had people where they're like, oh yeah, we saw you on YouTube. Will you come do an article for us on New York Times? We've had people who are like, I saw your stuff on Instagram and Facebook and stuff like that. Would you come be a guest on ABC News? I've seen like all kinds of things. People start opening doors for you. You even have team members that start going like, hey, I want to work with you. Like, we have people in the school doctors, who people have said, I want to come work for you. I will take a pay cut to come work with you. They are high level clients. Like, I can't count. Well, I can count. Off the top of my head, I couldn't think of 4 people right now who have had celebrities who have seen them and have come and said, hey, I want you to be my doctor. Why did all of that stuff happen? Because they evolved, because they said yes to the higher version of themselves, because they decided to upgrade themselves. You see what I'm saying? And so all these clients, you start coming at them and all these collaborations like, hey, we want you to be a brand ambassador for this. We want you to be our spokesperson for this. We've had so many stories like that. I am telling you that the most important decision you can make to get bigger results, whether this is this fourth quarter or a new month or a new year or a new, whatever it is the decision to evolve, to understand that you are like Play-Doh. And so that means you can change. Anything you think, oh, I that would be great if I could do that, but I can't do that. You can change. You can evolve. You're like, I don't have the confidence. You can build the confidence, right? I'm not able to dream that big. You can build the capacity to dream that big. The point is, decide to evolve. Refuse to stay the same. Refuse to keep the same way of thinking, the same way of showing up, the same level of expectation. Refuse all of that and say, this is time for me, 2.0, 3.0, 5.0, 11.0, whatever that number is. Make that decision. Okay, make that decision. So when you embrace this concept, it will radically change your business. But guess what? The way you do one thing is the way you do everything. Like your life, every aspect of your life will be different. Every aspect. So I want to invite you. The way your life is now doesn't have to be that way. The way your business is now, it doesn't have to be that way. Doesn't matter if you're like, oh, I've tried this stuff and it didn't work before. What are we going to do? Quit? This is one life. We don't have time for that, right? It's like own the evolution. Make a decision to own the evolution. Now, many of you know what to do that. And I'm challenging you, go do that. Okay, go do that. Some of you know. You've tried to do this. You need the accountability for it. You know that you need the motivation for it. You know that the community you're in does not support it. I want to invite you to find out how we can collaborate on the project that is you. That's you 2.0. Like, how can EntremD support me on this? How can EntremD help me? Right? Because you don't want to stay the same. Because you stay the same, these 5 things stay the same. They stay the same. Your clients get the same level of results. Your team doesn't up-level. Your inner circle doesn't up-level. Your family doesn't up-level. You don't have up-leveled collaborations. Like, who wants that? So go schedule a call with my team, EntremD.com/call. That's EntremD.com/call. And we would help you figure out like what would be the best next step. Okay, that's what this is about. What would be my best next step? Now, if you're like, no, I like listening to the podcast for fun. Dr. Una is so positive and stuff like that. I just do that. You don't have to bother about making a call. But if you're committed and you're like, I don't want to be the same for the next 90 days. I don't want to be the same a year from now. I don't want to be the same. I want to take it. I'm not even really sure how to pull this off, but I'm committed to doing the work to find out, right? If that's you, then go schedule the call. Okay. EntremD.com/call. And really what I want to see, because I want you to think about us as a community. Oh my goodness, as a physician community evolving, what that would look like. Then Vision 2025 will be a reality where we're in a place where loss of autonomy is not a thing, burnout is not a thing, a lot like financial instability is not a thing, where doctors are at this place where we are living life and practicing medicine on our terms. It's a reality for so many, but the more of us who make it a reality, the more we can topple over the craziness that's happening in the physician community. Okay. So go do this. This is one of those episodes I want to invite you to share with the doctors in your life. Take the link, share it, big text, social media, all of that. Say, hey, you got to listen to this. You got to listen to this. And I will see you, my friend, on the next episode of the EntremD podcast. I'm so excited for you. And I cannot wait to celebrate all the wins you create because you decided to evolve. See you on the next episode. If you enjoy listening to the EntremD podcast, you have to check out the EntremD Business School. It's the #1 business school for physicians who want to build 6, 7, and multiple 7-figure businesses. You get the coaching, the accountability, and the community you need to do the work so you can thrive. To find out if this is your best next step, book a call with my team, EntremD.com/call. That's EntremD.com/call. I can't wait to celebrate all the wins we can create together.